Thinking about leaving your soul-sucking 9 to 5 job, one of the biggest struggles I see people, especially as women, face is the idea of having that safety net, that enticing perks and benefits, and listening to that head trash of what will people think if I leave. I totally get it, and I've been where you are. That's why I created a free guide to help you if you're thinking about putting in that notice. It's called Unlocking Your Exit Plan. Discover 5 things you need to do before leaving your 9 to 5. This guide is filled with worksheets and steps so you will have hand holding along the way. You can download your copy in the link in the show notes, and again, it's totally free. Now back to today's episode. In this episode, I'm giving you all of my tips on how to make your goals doable and actionable in 2020. Let's dive in. Tired of staring at blank pages and don't know what to do? Or you completed your manuscript and now what? My name is C.S. Dorsey of HelloCSDorsey.com, and I coach writers and authors with the writing and self-publishing process. I wrote my book in 3 months. Yes, 3 months. It took dedication, discipline, and time management. After 3 months of writing and 3 months of editing, I submitted my book to tons of literary agents who said no or just didn't say anything at all. So I went to my best friend Google. My goal is to help, teach, and motivate writers to take that leap to become a self-published author. It will be a dream come true. Hi everyone, it's C.S. Dorsey of HelloCSDorsey.com, writing and publishing coach for authors and entrepreneurs. Y'all, it's 2020. I cannot believe it. Like, it's a new decade. It's a new year and it's a new time to start fresh. I'm so loving this time because this is a good time for me to just take a look back on the things that I've accomplished, the things that I want to do, the things that I didn't do that I had planned for 2019. But 2019 was a very interesting year for me, and it was one of them years that it was like chaotic. It was all over the place. And mind you, I still work a 9 to 5. Yes, I'm still there, but I'm working on leaving. Don't worry. 2019 was one of the years that I just really didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to expand my business, expand my writing business. I wanted to definitely help authors with the writing and publishing process. I definitely wanted to expand my VA business, but I really didn't know how I was going to narrow and niche everything down. So it was kind of a rush. Well, not a rush. It was kind of like I was all over the place last year. And it wasn't until like maybe a couple of months ago, well, in October, November, that I decided to really get serious about this. And one of the things, and I think I talked about this before, but for those of you out there listening, I'm going to talk about it again. One of the things that actually made me decide to go for it, just decide to do things, revamp, redo everything, was in my 9 to 5, I had applied for a position. My previous manager, she left, and I decided to apply for basically her position. I was already doing the work. I felt like I was more than capable and more than qualified to do it. And when I applied for it, the then person in charge, I told him, I'm going to go ahead and go for it. It's director position. I'm the supervisor. I'm still supervisor at the time of this recording. And he did not look at my resume. He just flat out told me that I do not qualify for it. And I understand that was a big leap, but I was already doing the work, and I felt that I was more than capable and more than qualified to do so. And when he told me that I didn't qualify for it, and not from a manager standpoint, I completely broke down. I didn't break down in front of him because my mama didn't raise no fool. I don't do that. I went outside, took a break, broke down, called my mom, and I said, I'm really upset. I don't know if I can even be here anymore. I feel like, my time there was wasted. Oh my God. Every time I think about it, I just want to break down again, and I try not to relive it, but I want to let you guys know and understand that it's very important to not let people dictate who you are and who you want to become in life, because that gives them control over your dreams. That gives them control over your goals in life. And never let anyone do that, because no one is living your dreams and no one is living your life but you. And you're the only one that can dictate that. Unless, yes, I do believe in God. So unless God, Jesus, says otherwise, if he said no, it's not the right time, I always follow his guidings. But for me, in this sense, never let anyone dictate your goals and who you want to become, ever. Okay? I broke down. I was upset for weeks, and it still bothers me to this day. And I'm trying to get over it, but I'll get over it. It's slowly going away. But at the same time, something happened. Something snapped. And not in the snap in the movie, the series Snap. Not that type of snap, because I wouldn't be doing this podcast and I'd probably be in prison. But something snapped in me that really triggered, okay, Candace, do what it is that you want to do. Do you want to stay here and let them continue controlling what it is that you want to, who you want to become, and who and what positions you can and cannot apply for? Do you want to stay here and have them continue, taking control over that? Or do you want to work towards something greater than what's in front of you? And I chose to work towards something greater than what's in front of me. Yes, I still work there. Yes, I'm still there. And I know a lot of people was like, well, why don't you apply for something else? Why don't you quit? The thing of it is, when I leave that place, it will be my own business and not working for somebody else. So that's the reason why I'm still there. I still have to eat. I still have to pay bills. And I'm not totally miserable in my job. Because I have the knowledge base, everybody comes to me, which, sometimes that can be a lot annoying. I've been there 14 years. And it's not, sometimes it can be stressful in a way, just very few days, less stressful than what it used to be. I really don't have my immediate supervisor completely over my head. She's in our headquarters. I'm sort of remote somewhere else, but I like that aspect of it. So I'm not being micromanaged. So I'm in a place right now in my current position where I can pretty much be a little more free-minded. I'm there because I want to work towards, when I leave, stay gone. You get what I'm saying? When I leave, I want to stay gone. I don't want to have to come back there. I don't want to have to go to another job and apply somewhere else and probably be worse off or be more miserable. When I leave, I want to stay gone. That's my goal. So, with that being said, 2020, another decade. So it is time to level up. It's time to level up in your life and what you want to do. It's time to level up in your health and how you want to eat, how much weight you want to lose. Do you want to feel good? Do you want to lose weight to help for health reasons. So you want to take more medicine. I know a lot of people want to be healthier so they can quit taking their medicines that basically keeping them to function. That's not normal, just to let you know. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a health coach at all, but taking pills to function because your health is out of whack, it is not normal. Okay. Another thing, your business, health, and finance. We all say we want to make more money. So what is it that we're doing about it? What is it that we are doing about our finances? Do we want to make more money? Do we want to pay off debt? Do we want to have money to travel? Do we want to have money to put into our savings? Be clear. Be very clear. You have to be transparent with yourself and ask yourself, okay, how am I going to get there? So I have three, I'm jumping the gun. I have three questions to ask yourself regarding your goals. So whether it be in business, finance, health, whatever it is, I want you to ask three questions. Number one, how am I going to get there? You need to, under the goal that you've written for yourself, you need to ask yourself, how are you going to get there, and write in 3 bullet points ways to get to your goal. Okay. And I actually did that before the ball dropped for 2020. So my goals is a lot for this year. I'm trying to narrow it down. Someone please help me. So what is my vision for 2020? So the first one I have is get on others' podcasts. I definitely want to get on other people's podcasts. I do currently have guests on my podcast, and I want to be a guest on other people's podcasts. Not all the time, but maybe one a month. So that is my goal. My goal is to definitely grow this podcast, get more listeners, get more people on the podcast and talking about their business, talking about their book. I want to do Facebook Live trainings. Now, that in itself is something that is completely doable because I can have at least one training a month. So that's something that I definitely want to get into. Offer new services for authors and entrepreneurs who want to publish a book. I'm working to focus more on coaches who want to have a published book. So when they're doing their speaking engagements or when they have their clients, they can definitely give them those books and have it print on demand. So my goal is to work more with coaches. So, and especially when they go to speaking engagements, because how many of us been to a conference and there was a speaker on stage that's a coach, and 100% each one of those coaches have a book. So if you're a coach and you're out there, you definitely need a book. So definitely give me a call. But I just want to let everyone know that that is definitely my goal for 2020, is to work more with entrepreneurs and coaches who want to publish their book and go to one conference this year. So one conference mean a conference that is out of state for me, either out of state or within the state where I have to travel. So I'm definitely looking at going to San Diego this year. I want to go to Amy Porterfield's Entrepreneur Experience. So that is one of the conferences that I'm definitely keeping my eye on, because last year when I saw the pictures of the Entrepreneur Experience, I was like, oh my God, I gotta get down there. I really do need to get down there. It just looks so fun and informative, and I love Amy Porterfield. I love following her. I love Rachel Hollis. I'm not exactly sure Jenna Kutcher was down there, but I love listening to her podcast as well. And I just love all those women so much. So that's my goal this year. I'm not going to say that, yes, I'm going to do it. Things happen in life, but I'm going to strive so hard to get down there and make that conference. It's going to be my first conference out of my area. I've been to a couple of conferences, but this will be the first one out of my area where I actually have to fly down to San Diego. So it'll be so much fun. So, with these goals, I wrote down how am I going to get there? And I wrote 3 steps for each. So how am I going to get onto other people's podcasts? I wrote down that I'm going to search Facebook groups, post in Facebook groups, and look for requests for guests on podcasts. And another thing, I wrote down, what am I trying to accomplish with this goal? So that is number 2. What is you trying to accomplish with this goal? We can say, oh yes, I want to make 6 figures, which is your goal. Okay, so how are you going to get there with making 6 figures? And what are you trying to accomplish by making 6 figures? And you write down 3 bullet points. So I want to make 6 figures because I want to retire, or I want to leave my job. I think that I will be financially stable. It will help me to travel more or stay at home with my family. So you want to write down 3 bullet points as to why am I trying to accomplish this goal. Okay. Number 3 is, what is my plan of action for doing this? So what am I planning on doing to make 6 figures? Does that mean I'm going to book more clients? Does that mean I'm going to raise my rates? Does that mean I'm going to do more networking events, network more, be present more, whatever it is? You have to state what your plan of action is for completing that goal. Okay. I hope this was super helpful, and I thank you so much for listening to my story. I always say it on Facebook, but to actually say it out loud on my podcast with my audience, the reason for me snapping, not being on TV, not being on the Snap show, but for me wanting to move forward and to progress in my life, I kind of kept that a little bit to myself. I told, my mom, she's my best friend. I told my mom about it, and she is like so super supportive of whatever I do, just as long as it's legal. And I just I have to definitely do something. My podcast has been a great blessing for me because I'm able to connect and talk with other female entrepreneurs or other entrepreneurs in general, to connect with them, to talk with them, and just meet with them. See what everybody do, help one another. I love it so much. And if you want to be a guest, you can definitely go on my website. It's hellociasdorsey.com/be a guest. You can fill out the form and you can actually schedule a time and a date that's convenient for you to be on my podcast. So definitely looking for entrepreneurs. And you don't necessarily have to publish a book. That's perfectly fine. You don't necessarily have to want to write a book. That's perfectly fine. Everyone is welcome. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember to subscribe. Definitely subscribe on hellociasdorsey.com for the latest episodes. And let me know what you think about this episode. Definitely give a review. And if you give a review, I will read it. And you'll be entered in a Amazon gift card. I'm not going to tell you how much, but you'll be entered in for an Amazon gift card if you leave me a review. It will be so wonderful. Let me know if this episode helped you. And I'm here if you need me. And remember, just keep writing. Take care.